Hello children, how are you all? This is Neeta Choksi. We are going to start with the first chapter of history, 7th standard CBSE. First chapter, tracing changes through 1,000 years. See children, in this chapter we are going to learn about the changes which took place in 1000 year. That is a period between 700 to 1750 CE. See children, I'll give you an example of the changes, how these changes took place. For example, when people moved between countries or continents for their trading purpose, they took their lifestyles and ideas to new places. And this is how over time old religion, science, cultures and traditions changed and became new ones. They exchanged their ideas of religion, their culture and their lifestyles with one another and also accepted it. Now to study the past time or to get information about the ancient time, the historians used many different things like coins, inscriptions and architectures. Now in this chapter we will read about the 1000 years, that is roughly from 700 to 1750 CE. Now see, as soon as we open this chapter, we can see figure of a map. There are two figures of map given, figure 1 and figure 2. First of all, we'll have a look in figure 1. As we can see in figure 1, a map of the Indian subcontinent is shown. Now this map, it was made by a famous Arab geographer whose name was Al-Risi. In which year? In 1154 CE. Now in this map, Al-Risi has shown South India, which is he has shown South India in the northern side, whereas Sri Lanka, which should be at the south, he has shown Sri Lanka at the top, which is totally wrong. It seems to be upside down. As soon as we look in this map, we come to know that this map, it seems to be upside down. The locations, they are not at all clearly understood, and the name of the places are also written in Arabic language. So this map is not at all clear to us. Now if we look in figure 2, this is also the same map showing the same area, but it was made by a French cartographer. Who is a cartographer, children? A person who makes map. Now he has made this map in 1720. It is quite different from what Al-Risi made. See children, in this map, in second figure, we can clearly see the location. The South India, it is also shown at the exact location where it should be. This map is quite familiar to us. All the coastal areas are also clearly mentioned. And this map, it was generally used by the sailors and the merchants for their voyages. Whenever they wanted to trade, they used whenever they wanted to move from one place to another by sea routes, they used this map. Now in this chapter, see children, 7 topics are given, which we are going to discuss one by one. First topic is new and old terminology. Second is historians and their sources. Third is new social and political group. Fourth is region and empire. Fifth, language and region. Sixth, old and new religion. Seventh, thinking about time and historical periods. So I have divided this video into 2 parts. In first part, we'll learn up to 3 topics only. That is third topic up till new social and political group. Now starting with the first topic, new and old terminologies. See children, what is the terminology? Terminology means word. Now in this topic we are going to learn about new and old terms, new and old words. See children, meaning of various terms changes along with the time, along with the period. For example, the medieval Persian, if we look to the medieval Persian language, it is totally different from today's Persian language. That does not mean that its vocabulary, grammar or everything has changed, but only the terms, only the words, the meaning of the terms has changed. The meaning of the terms which were previously used, its meaning has been changed completely with the use of the recent terms. If we look on to another example of Hindustan, so as soon as this term comes before us, Hindustan, we are very clear about it that Hindustan means it is our nation, India. But see children, in 13th century there was a Persian chronicler named Minhaj Siraj. He used this term to identify the areas besides Punjab, Haryana and Ganga Yamuna. He used the words Hindustan in political sense for land that was a part of Delhi Sultanate. Whereas in 16th century, when Babur used this term, he tried to identify geography, fauna and culture with the same word Hindustan. Whereas today we consider this same term Hindustan as our nation, India. So we can see wide differences with the use of the terms. In 13th century when it was used, its meaning was different, whereas in 16th century when it was used by Babur, its meaning was different, whereas at present, recently when we are using this term Hindustan, its meaning is completely different. So the term remains the same, but its meaning changes according to the lapse of time or period. Now another example is also given about the term foreigner. Now see children, what do we know about the word foreigner recently? If we talk about the recent meaning, it means a person who is a non-Indian, who does not reside or live in India. But previously foreigner means a person who lived in other village or who was not of the same culture or society was known as foreigner. Now see, here also the term remains the same, foreigner, but its meaning changes according to the period. Now moving on to the another topic, historians and their sources. In medieval period between 700 to 1750 CE, the historians, they were totally dependent on inscriptions, architecture, coins and textual records for collecting information. During excavation, they found many such coins and inscriptions which were written on either stones or metals. During this medieval period, papers became very cheap. They were very cheap. They were not at all costly and it were easily available. And so obviously people started making use of papers by writing the administrative records, whereas petitions, judicial records, holy books, writings of holy books, preachings of saints on paper, due to which more and more information was shared by them on piece of paper. Now see children, we'll talk about the sources of the historians. When any historian, they want to collect the information about past, they should have certain sources through which they can depict the past administration or culture. So the sources here are coins, manuscripts, inscriptions, architectures, etc. Now I'll give you information about these sources one by one. If we first talk about coins, then it can be identified through the drawings or the inscriptions which were made on it. So time period, if the historians they wanted to decide or if they wanted to know the information about which period this coin belonged to, they had to just have a look on the inscriptions or the drawings which were embossed or made on the coins. Second is inscription. Inscription means the writing done on any of the hard surfaces like metal or stone, which used to last long till centuries, were known as inscriptions. So during excavation, when the historians found such kind of inscription, they would easily gather information of that particular period. For example, during the reign of King Ashoka, he made many inscriptions regarding his administrative policies or cultures on stone and metal. That is which century? In 2nd and 3rd century, which was founded in modern period during excavation by the excavators, which became helpful to the historians to know about the past history. See children, even after the centuries, through this excavation, when this this inscriptions made on stones and metals, we get this inscription, we can come to know about the past history. Now if we talk about architecture, we know what is architecture. It is the construction of building. The construction, it depicts the art and culture of that particular period. For example, Lal Killa, Taj Mahal, all these are the examples of architecture. Moving on to manuscripts. What are manuscripts? They are a written material, either which provides evidences or proof of human activities or different kings on a piece of paper or cloth or palm leaf or bark of a tree. Bark means bulk of a tree. Previously people they used the bark of that is the upper layer of the tree to write the information, but these were not long lasting, and so they again transformed all this writing of manuscript in a proper piece of paper. Now if we talk about archives, then archives is a place we can also call as a kind of a museum in which all the official records, whereas manuscripts and other things are stored and preserved, is known as archives. Now see children, during this particular period, two types of writings were seen. First is Nastaliq style. Nastaliq style means that kind of writing which was written in cursive style and it was very easy to read. Whereas second style is Shikast style. It was denser type and complicated, and so it was difficult to read. There was no printing press during this particular period, so people had to write themselves only. Now the people who were there was a group of people known as scribes who were appointed to copy the information from the manuscripts. Okay, so as they only had to copy the writing, so many times what happened children, they were not able to understand certain words properly. So what they did, they made slight changes according to their understanding, due to which the main writing differed from the it gave many times it gave a different meaning from the original manuscript, and in this way many times the original information differed uh, from the present writing manuscript. Now another topic, new social and political groups. In this topic we are going to see the changes which occurred in 1000 years, say which social and political groups developed. See children, during this period many technological development took place, whereas great change was seen in lifestyle of people. So we will see it in detail. See, if we talk about technology, then Persian wheel was introduced, which was used in irrigation facility, irrigation means farming, whereas spinning wheel was used in weaving, whereas firearms were used in combats. So this was a discovery or invention of in technology in this particular period. Then if we talk about food and beverages, then Indians, they got a variety of food in this period, like potatoes, corn, chilies, tea and coffee, which was previously not used by the Indians. The people, how all these things were invented or came in India. The people who visited India, either for trading purpose or whatever purpose they wanted, or whether they wanted to know about the Indian culture, that was also one of the purpose why they visited India. They not only brought different food and varieties with them, but also brought many new ideas. So this was a media how the new food and beverages entered India. They also along with the food and beverages, they also brought many new ideas and technologies with them. So this period, this medieval period, is a period of innovation, changes in new things, invention of new things, which brought economic, political, social and cultural change. During this period, people moved from one place to another in search of job and survival. See children, in medieval period, India was a very rich and prosperous country. It had immense wealth, and so people wanted to try their fortune in India and live a healthy and wealthy life. If we talk about social group, then Rajput were considered as one of the important groups. Generally the meaning of Rajput was the son of the ruler, but here in this book it is in the reference of warriors. The warriors, the commanders, soldiers who were engaged in the activities of war or fighting battles. These group of people were considered very loyal. Other groups of people like Maratha, Sikh, Jats and Kayastha. Kayastha were a caste or a group of people who were engaged in copying the inscription. They were also known as scribes or secretaries. They also made themselves politically important and strong. Moving on to the next topic, there were other changes seen, that is the agricultural lands were expanded. By cutting trees in forest. There were many forest dwellers who were forest dwellers, children, the Adivasi people. That means the people who are living in forest area. They were forced to live in forest, and and they were forced to move in other place. Many of them started farming and became farmer and became affected with the regional markets also. They came in contact with priests, then monasteries and temples. Monasteries means they were kind of temple built by the Buddhist, a kind of ashram or temple by Buddhists and temples, and in this way they became a part of society. They started paying taxes and offering different services. People started dividing themselves in group based on their occupation. For example, people who undertook agricultural activities were known as farmers, whereas people who built houses were known as masons, and so on. Such group of people were known as jatis. They were given a particular name as jatis. They divided themselves in different areas and made themselves more efficient and powerful. Jatis, they were a group of people who were following particular religion. They framed their own rules and regulations, and all these rules and regulations, they were generally framed by the elders, and they were also justified by the elders. They were ruled by local rulers only. Now this is the end of first part, children.